Salvayonishu, in all species of life, Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Murtaya, forms, Sambhavanti, they appear, Ya, which, Tasam, of all of them, Brahma, the Supreme, Mahatyoni, source of birth, in the material substance, Aham, I, Bijaprada, the seed giving, Pita, father. Translation. It should be understood that all species of life, all son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. Therefore, by divine grace, Prabhupada, in this verse it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original Father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet, even on the highest, where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities, and within the earth there are living entities, even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed-giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Now Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Guravani Prashaline Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashkatya Yeshatalini. Just a few words on this simple and extraordinary verse from Krishna himself. I'm the seed-giving Father. Well, he starts with material nature, which is fact, like everything in Bhagavad Gita. It's fact, and it is also transcendental knowledge, inaccessible to the brain. Should I speak in French? In translation in English? No, it's starting like that now. Okay. That's Bhagavad Gita. Scientific knowledge and simultaneously transcendental knowledge. So that we are all sons, we means all living entities. Krishna specifically, we all noticed, he doesn't say all human beings are, all living entities are born of Mother Nature, material nature. That's a fact. Her bodies are made of water, earth, and so on, like that, air, liquid, and all kind of nasty things. Well, originally it's all nice, but when they are made to function as a physiological body, as we usually say or said in old days, it's ultimately a nice bag with nice skin, and inside, it's not so attractive. Yes, I was, I was into medicine and surgery sometimes, and as soon as you cut a little, it's not the same. this lady, excuse me, this lady came out, from a car accident. She was really, she had a beautiful body, beautiful body. But she died on the table, emergency, and poof, immediately your mind, again, wow, this is not beauty, this is just a thing, and, no attraction, nothing, boom, from one moment to the other. Anyway, that's an experience. Yeah, wow. Material nature is giving us a very nicely functioning body, and superficially very attractive, strong or beautiful, whatever. But, as Prabhupada was saying in his address, as soon as there is a mother and child, you may not see, but you know, everybody knows, there is a father somewhere. And Prabhupada gave us our father, because we knew we had a father, at least, with some piety, there is this idea that, somebody, higher is there. We knew it, we. Then Prabhupada came and he gave us our father. Aham Vijata Pita, Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is not a conceptual theological book, but it is a letter from our Father. My dear living entities, here I am. This is me, your Father, that's me. And it's a Father, it's a letter, Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Arjuna, I am your Father. And Arjuna is the first to recognize, oh Krishna, yes, Aham, Brahma, Param Brahman, Pavitram Param, yes, oh Krishna. You are the original Father. You are the Supreme Brahman. You are the source of everything, the Father of all living entities. You are my Father, Krishna. You are the Father, the creator, the controller of material nature, Mother Nature. And here you are, Krishna, with your Somyavapu, your beautiful form. It's nice to know that we have a Father, and when we discover Him with His name, with His form, with His qualities, and His activities, His lila, His pastimes. Oh, thank you so much, Sri Prabhupada. You gave us Krishna. Something happened when Sri Prabhupada came. He just arrived a few days ago. We have Guru Goranga Prabhu from America, who was the friend before. He has made a series of diapositive slideshow about Sri Prabhupada's traveling from Calcutta to Boston and New York, day by day, by day, by day. And he showed that as the 50th anniversary of Sri Prabhupada's arrival in Boston. I was there, it was pretty far out. And now every year, starting the day Sri Prabhupada left Calcutta in August, just before Janmashtami, up to arrival in America, you can follow on internet. First the day is Prabhupada's diary and comments about where is Sri Prabhupada today, how is the sea, what is he saying, how is he feeling, what's going on in the world at this time, and the teachers and everything. Oh, you follow day by day Sri Prabhupada carrying Krishna to the west, to the world. Because even in India, for most of India, Krishna was soon to be disappeared amongst, all kinds of speculations and deviations. Sri Prabhupada came and he brought Krishna, our father, and our world, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha. He brought the activities of the liberated soul, bhakti, shravana, hearing about Krishna, kirtana, chanting the name of Krishna, and smarana, remembering, little by little, more and more, living with Krishna in your mind, in your activities, and this is Prabhupada's gift. He gave something, he gave somebody tangible. And Krishna, when Krishna appears, oh, this is something big happening, you know, for the soul. I mean, for the soul. It is, we regain our constitutional relationship with Krishna. We regain our love, constitutional activity, which is offering loving, devotional service to Krishna's senses, to Krishna's associates, to Krishna's pastimes. So that's what Prabhupada brought to the world with blessing, instructions and blessings of the whole Guru Parampara. Yeah, very something big happening. We regain our individually, we start again in our soul activities, loving, giving, unmotivated, uninterrupted service to Krishna. When we speak of love, of course, there is some sense of affection, sentiment, love, maybe, but it's all conditioned. It's all perverted. It's not directed to Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are not part and parcel of France or India or wherever, Russia, like that. We are not part and parcel of this family or that family. We are not part and parcel of the men or of the women or the 21st century or 20th century or whatever. No, we are part and parcel of Krishna, the person Krishna. And our love is constitutionally directed, concentrated on Krishna. And of course, this is a platform on which, because Krishna is big, Krishna is many energies, so this is a platform on which you are connected through love to all Krishna's world, Krishna's people, Krishna's family. Yes. So this love that we may feel, this attraction towards something like that, there is no ultimate goal. It's all perverted, which means it's all temporary, it's all mixed with selfish interest, with problems like that. But when we receive Krishna, when Prabhupada gives us Krishna and pure bhakti, it's like pleonasm, pure bhakti, it's Krishna bhakti. When he gives us Krishna and simultaneously love for Krishna, then even though it is a little seed, Guru Krishna Prasada, Bhakti Data Bij, the Bij, even though it's a little seed of real love, pure, the real constitutional love to Krishna, then, yes, that's the love from which we have to express our desires. Yes, from that. So when we speak about chanting with love, hearing with love, developing love. That's from the beach we have received from Guru Parampara and from Srila Prabhupada. Yes. And in this, yes, then this seed of real love will grow and expand, through Krishna's relationship. Yes. Okay. Any question?
Oui.
Oui.
J'aimerais faire un petit commentaire.
Hare Krishna.
Lorsqu'il mentionné que, enfin, on connaît la mère, on connaît les filles, les frères, les sœurs, mais on ne connaît pas le père.
Mm.
Je me souviens, là, je me rappelle, Prabhu donnait une classe, le Prabhu disait, je suis venu donner le nom, l'adresse du père. While Gopaswami Prabhu was explaining, we know the mare, the mother, and you know the brothers, etc. But we don't know the father. And I always meditate. When Prabhupada gave a lecture, and Prabhupada said, I came here to give to you the name and address of God. The name and address of the Father. So, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's very practical, very tangible. Prabhupada gave Krishna. And he gave Krishna on the Sambandagyan, the Parampara, the disciplic succession, the transcendental knowledge descending, about the knowledge of Krishna, our relationship with this Krishna. We never heard about Krishna. What is that? He gave us that, very philosophical, systematic, scientific knowledge, very convincing. And on the other side, he gave Krishna with his love. Prabhupada was both, the Acharya, and he was also the devotee of Krishna. So, not our, we could not resist, or some other, we could not resist to this convincing, scientific presentation of Krishna, our Father, the controller of this world, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And on the other side, we could not resist, or we are, let's say, positively, we are very irresistibly attracted to this presentation, to this, not presentation, but to this seed of love planted in our heart, from which, yes, there is some practical hope to revive real love. If we only become servant of the servant of the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. They are carrying down transcendental knowledge and love of Krishna, pure bhakti. And then it's very nice. Krishna. Okay. So, anybody knows where we are speaking about Lilamrita last time? Precisely, or just no? Okay. Okay. Maybe we speak about that already. But it's about Bowery. How do you say in English the word? Bowery. 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 Okay.
It's Dutch, actually.
Huh?
It's Dutch.
It's Dutch?
Yeah.
Okay, what does this mean?
Because the Dutch came to New York in the beginning.
The
Names are Dutch in New York.
Well, the Dutch came, okay, but Lafayette came also to America. And
No, the names are Dutch in New York.
Bowery.
Many names are
Like
Dutch.
the
Yes,
place of the
but what's the meaning of Bowery?
farm. It's like a farm.
Really? Bower? Yeah, in English, Bower, I would say.
It's in German,
Boulevard.
Boulevard.
but
Okay,
German
anyway.
Boulevard.
Anyway, this is not either a farm, not a nice boulevard. It is a very dark, tamasic place in which Srila Prabhupada is sent. He's still there. Yeah.
Historically speaking.
Huh?
There was a place where drunkards
Drunkards were there.
hung out.
Yes. dirty, tamasy, dangerous, poor, miserable. Yes.
In New York? No.
In New York, yes. Just next to 26 Second Avenue, just next to Matchless Gift. You know? You come out, you just cross, what's the name of this big street? Anyway. And then you go, just next
Now,
to...
you know what's happened now?
Huh?
Became very chic.
Well,
Très à la mode maintenant.
Le quartier.
I don't know, I went there in 10 years ago.
Très à la mode.
And it was not so glorious.
Impressed.
But maybe, things are changing. Huh?
The whole neighborhood has
Change.
changed.
Okay. Actually, I rang the bell, and one lady spoke on the thing, it's all lovely. What is it? Yeah, like on Sankirtan. What? What? For you. Okay, I come down. So lady came down, and actually she was nice, some 60-year-old lady, and through the thing, she, what is that, I was dressed in civil. So I said, well, my father used to live up there, and I always wanting to, he spoke so much about this place, and I wanted to see. Okay, he looked like, a son, young, okay, come. So she opened the door and took me up the stairs, many stairs, I don't remember, maybe 4 or 5 floors at least, and you have to climb, and if you forget to buy a matchbox or something, come down again, I think Prabhupada, and it was not, just that was not easy. So anyway, I went to the loft, a very long room, very long. And she was an artist, the lady also. So she was painting and from Norway. Yeah, she was. Her name was Inger. Is it a name? Huh?
Yeah.
Inger. And very nice, very good chat, and the loft was very long. I was thinking what we all heard about, Prabhupada in this loft with his hippie, who, living with him, same room, same showers, and fridge, I don't know, and cat and this, and then, the guy getting mad on the drug one day, and Prabhupada had to, run away, with nothing, alone in the street. Wow, what a story for, And when I told her this story, she was not impressed already by Srila Prabhupada, but she was very impressed by this man, 70-something years old, who came alone and who was living there, and she knew about the past of the Bori, and was, bringing, wisdom of sages of India, very aristocratic person, and being like that, she was very impressed. And she started to really listen to Prabhupada's story. She was really, I did not know, she told me. I came here right after his disappearance, and nobody came and spoke to me about that. I did not know. And then she brought me to the roof. He must be there, there was a staircase on the roof. I'm sure he was meditating there. I'm meditating also. It was nice. She should go back to New York, bring her Rita. Now it was time to move the Swami into his new place. A few friends who were on hand accompanied the Swami over to the Bowery loft. Maybe they were not prepared to become his surrendered disciples, but contributing towards the first month's rent and volunteering a few hours of work to help set up his place were exactly the kind of things they could do very willingly. Oh no, we are not at the loft. No, Prabhupada is just left Carl's apartment. at the loft, they all gathered portions of the Swami's belongings, and then they started out on foot up Boroli. It was like a safari, a caravan of half a dozen men loaded with Prabhupada things. Well, that's the beginning of Prabhupada, walk. Prabhupada, comment on dit ça, la marche triomphale de Prabhupada dans le monde entier. Hein. Alors, ça commence avec une caravane de hippies qui portent pas toutes ses affaires, mais bon, dans la rue, sur la tête, machin, comme ça. Michael carried the heavy Robert's reel-to-reel. And even the Swami carried 2 suitcases. So you see, the first beginning of Master's gift story, the reel-to-reel is there. The DBT, the press is there. They did everything so quickly that it was not until they were well on their way and Mike's arm began to ache that he realized, why did not we bring a car? This is simple life. I mean, the meetings, the organization, that comes after. The basis has to be simple. That's why it's work. And it works like that. Maybe you will have made a meeting before and made a call for money, or it's a campaign for money, to get money for the car. Maybe, we don't know, it will not happen. But they just, okay, let's go, yeah, boom, and carry, and like that. And after, you can have meetings, you must have meetings, and campaign, and organization like that. But this is the beginning of everything. Simple life, simple way. Human, devotees, individual nature. It's so nice to do things to our level. Not to be too much dependent about all kinds of external, technological laws and things like that. Just start with what we are. We're simple guys and girls, And it's so nice to do what we, And Prabhupada was like that. Start with whatever. It was the end of June, and a hazy summer sun poured its heat down into the Bowery jungle. Starting and stopping, the strange safari stretching for over a block slowly trekked along. Sasolma is really into the story of safari, trekking, and jungle. Well, we heard about, not always, but sometimes Prabhupada spoke about, he came to this jungle, with all kinds of strange animals, in New York City, like that. On one side he spoke like that, on the other side he spoke very affectionately about his early disciples, very affectionately, and very grateful also, big devotees, maybe, probably, certainly, could not do anything. But these devotees, yes, they did it. So now it's very good because now, this big Western ISKCON is still big, but it's not so strong, pushing, But now we have India is big. Like they say, big. Yes. So, Prabhupada was, yes, of course, we Westerners, we are not very pious people, like he wrote to us in France, you have to denounce this civilization of sex and wine. This is our past, this is our culture, more or less, or not me, I was not so much, well, if it's not you, but your father, Comme le lion et l'agneau, vous savez, si ce n'est toi, c'est donc ton frère. Anyway, so yes, Prabhupada, he elevated, the Western materialistic, developed material society and people first. He elevated, and then, India could join after. So now they know. Oh, we are coming to the West, and we welcome them so nicely. Oh, finally, those who are not coming from a civilization of sex and wine are coming to us. Brother, all children, same family, they are all coming to the West now. Krishna organized everything. There was no one Indian before, practically speaking, in the West. And they came out, Angola and all these places, and then after India, they're everywhere. And they're everywhere in ISKCON also, in the West. And we are so happy. We are so, because they are brothers, they are cultured also, and they are very appreciative of what Prabhupada did. And they understand that, India was quickly losing its wealth. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, with his Western early jungle disciples, we are being able to revive Indian culture. And now it is our constitutional duty, Bharat Bhumite, we are born in India, you must finish up your perfection on the basis of your Sukriti. And then you must also go there, follow me, follow Prabhupada, and go to the West, and help them. They have, Sankirtan movement is for everybody, Gaunitai, unlimited mercy, the most fallen, yes. So give up your Brahmanical pride, and so-called Brahmanical pride, and culture, and knowledge, and this and that, and take Krishna, Prabhupada, prefer Prabhupada, take Krishna, take him as he is, and you will find him in Srila Prabhupada's movement, in ISKCON, Krishna, and from Krishna, everything good will come, everything. So there's such a nice combination, Krishna organized. And now there is this cooperation which will compulsory. The whole Sankirtan movement, the whole ISKCON movement is congregational, worldly congregational cooperation. So there may be some little difficulty at the beginning to start. The Western becoming Hare Krishnas, and Indian cooperating with past jungle Westerners, this and that. But this is just to grow for everybody, and it is compulsory. There's no other way, and otherwise we are all doomed, east and west. There's no way out of that. And we don't want any, we want this way, on the basis of bhakti, loving Krishna. Then, the social aspect of love, which is cooperation, will grow more and more. And there will be peace and prosperity, international, and but driven by this love for Krishna. Yes, and this is very nice. So here we see, it started like that, jungle, trekking into jungle, long caravan. Prabhupada struggled with his suitcases, past the seemingly unending row of restaurants, supply shops, and lamp stalls between ground, broom, and spring splits. Sometimes he paused and rested, setting his suitcases down we know after a few, when we are a little grown up, suitcases, you have to Paris, Austerlitz, like that, you have to go to Gare du Nord, in the metro, you walk, and you put down the suitcases and again like that. That was Prabhupada, he was like that. And when you are young, you don't realize, so probably those young boys, who are following Prabhupada or accompanying him, they say, come, no, we are not yet, let's go. Prabhupada, okay, yes, okay. He was finally moving from the Bowery. His electrician friend on 72nd Street would have been relieved, although perhaps he would have disapproved of the Second Avenue address also. At least he was finished residing on Skid Row. Agnidev Prabhu, what is Skid Row?
Bums.
It's a nickname for power.
They've come to the lowest level of human life.
Yeah, so at least he was finished residing in Skid Row. Prabhupada, coming from,
Les sans-abri, les mendiants.
les sans-abri, les mendiants, les alcooliques, précarité. He was very much there. And coming from that, and he's coming from, Calcutta, social, respectable family. He's coming from Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, Santa Krishna, and finally, he's really residing in Skid Row. He walked on past the homeless man outside the Salvation Army shelter. I went there in Paris just to experience what it is. I spent a night there, the Salvation Army shelter. My God.
Intense.
Hein?
C'est intense.
What?
Intense, it's intense.
Je comprends pas, mais c'était une pièce qui était 4 fois comme celle-là, grand dortoir, avec des séparations ouvertes comme ça.
Alors,
Et il y avait.
je parle en anglais.
Oh yeah, it was Salvation Army in Paris. I went just to experience, what it was, the kind of people in this place as well. And I spent the night there. I disguised myself as God. I was not allowed to spend the night there. So I give you the story. And then, it's a big, huge room, 4 times like that, dormitory room, with separations but no doors, and it's all open. And there was like maybe, I would say almost, not exactly, almost 100 bumps, you say? Clochards. 100 clochards. All coming at night, not allowed to stay during the day, all coming at night, and all come inside with their smell. They all come take away their shoes and wow, and the sight, all these broken lives, poor people, poor guys, broken heart, broken legs, broken everything, and bad karma and everything. Wow, what a gathering, Anyway, that was Skid Row, Salvation Army shelter. Past the open door taverns, you remember? Panchatattva and Sunagopal, the open door taverns on Marathon, Sankirtan Marathon, at late, after 8 o'clock, where to go? Oh, we go to the bars. Near the train station, you have many bars there with prostitutes, everything, and boom, 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 distribute the books, Well, it's not the same. You pass open door taverns, stopping at street lights, standing alongside total strangers, keeping an eye on the progress of his procession of friends who struggle along behind him. What a beginning. Alright, that's the beginning after the beginning. Any comment? Feelings? Hare Krishna. The Bowery artists and musicians saw him as highly evolved. They felt that the spirit was moving him and were eager to help him set up his own place so that he could do his valuable spiritual thing and spread it to others. He was depending on them for help, yet they knew he was, quote, on a higher level. He was his own protector, or, as he said, God protected him. Oh. This is Bhaktivedanta Beach from these borrowing artists and musicians accompanying Srila Prabhupada out of the Skid Row. Bhaktivedanta Beach, they perceive that he is highly evolved. He is not just an old man, he is not just an Hindu, refugee, he is not just a Swami. He is highly evolved. And he looks like he is his own protector. We are helping him, but he is self-sufficient. Or, as he said, they perceive God protecting. Yeah, they could feel that. He is a God's man. Yeah. That was the first thing I felt when I saw Prabhupada, giving this talk in Paris, conference, Baraspai. I opened the door and I saw him. And wow, first thing, this is God's man. This person is intimately linked with God. Really, So Prabhupada, the first musicians, hippies like that, oh, yes, as he said, God protect him. He needs us, externally speaking. We are helping him, but he's his own protector, because God protects him. This is Prabhupada. And this is very comforting. Like, we are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada. We are still helping Srila Prabhupada. We are still helping Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, I am only gardener, how many fruits can I pick up and distribute? Please help me all. And then, Panchatabla, they plundered, the thing, distributed with him, and branches after branches everywhere. And Prabhupada same thing. What can I do? I'm Lord. I did it just on the strength of my spiritual master. I came and I signed up for, let's see, I am sponsored for 1 month, the official at New York arrival. How long you will stay? I am sponsored for 1 month, this Agarwal in Leso, but okay, maybe 1 month. 2 months, alright, burn, 2 months. AC, strange name, okay, 2 months. 2 months in the West. Let's see. And he was coming back to the port, When is the next cargo leaving? My supply of muesli is diminishing. I have put books in bookstores, libraries like that. Up to now, I feel something is possible, but I just have, jungle, mad, drugs, hippies like that. I don't know. Yes, no. And then, coming out of the jungle, the caravan trekking, much less gift. The first, the beginning of ISKCON, the beginning of something tangible, helped by his first disciples. Yes. All glory to him. And, but Prabhupada was self-sufficient because he carried Krishna. He did not carry theology, he did not carry sentimental love, he did not carry Brahmanical principles. No, he carried the person Krishna and he carried love for Krishna. And that's what he gave. And that's what Krishna entrusted him. Everything, because he was, and he is still carrying. And we are still helping him. But he is God protecting. God protecting. And his movement, that one sense we could say we are all his children, but his real child is the ISKCON movement. That's his offering to his to the Parampara and to Lord Chaitanya, to God Nitai. So his child is totally protected because the father is very attached to his child. So when we help Srila Prabhupada to spread his, to develop, to let his movement grow, let's say, as a child, let him grow, let his con grow. Don't see that first steps difficult, this and that. No, don't see as a teenager he's starting to fight with his brother, the one child with the other, or his sister or whatever. That's part of the growth. Of course, you have to be careful, not let these difficulties take over too much. And this is how things will develop. Prabhupada's child is called movement, international society, not international association, legal association, not international institution with fixed rule like that. International society. A society. Society means people. Gathering of people. Gathering of persons. Who are attached to Krishna, the person, Supreme Personality of Godhead. With his name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, and people who are attached to love of Krishna. Yes. Love starting from the Bhakti Lata beach. This love. It's very small maybe, but strong, real. And this will grow more and more, yes. Okay. So Swami and his young friends reached the corner. Any comments or questions? About the trekking through the jungle? Out of the jungle? Yes.
Yeah. When we become old, like most Prabhupada disciples do, we realize all the sacrifice he did, because generally at this age you don't have so much the fear to travel, take the trouble to travel, and especially with degraded people, most degraded people in passion and ignorance modes of degradation. When you are young, you don't see so much to sacrifice, because especially in the West you are accustomed to this kind of people and this kind of moving and traveling. But when we are old, and especially when you are attached to Vrindavan, and you have your own place and habits and all that, when it's about moving, crossing the ocean, and meeting all these passionate people.
Very difficult to realize. Very difficult to realize. Even as devotees, we know the philosophy, we're going to grow old, and we see our fathers, and mothers, they grow old, difficult, this and that. But still, it's not exactly realization. You have to go, anyway, that's what you see. And not only that, but as you say, preaching in difficult places, where people are not spiritually educated and cultured. Prabhupada, how it was, he was open door, receiving anybody coming out of the street, drug hippies like that. And day after day, he was answering all kind of crazy questions, or very basic questions, the same one, again and again. Why this? But Prabhupada, he was Acharya. He was coming to give, Srimad Bhagavatam. He was spiritual master. And the spiritual master, or a spiritual guide, you approach him how? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya upadekshantite gyanam gyaninam tastradarshina. You approach someone who has been acquainted with the truth. And you approach him submissively and inquire, not, 100 times the same, basic question from your troubled mind, but you inquire him how to advance, in transcendental knowledge, practical service, and love of Krishna. So, Prabhupada was, he was ready, he was missioned for that. He was waiting to help everybody. But he had to go through this first stage of answering like that. But of course, this is not that we should remain on this level and always ask basic questions. Of course, everybody is welcome, but in spiritual movement in ISKCON, it's meant for education. You don't remain always in first level of the class, and people have to see that oh yes, in ISKCON, one is very open to anybody, very mercifully to explain, take time. Prabhupada did, he took his energy and time to do that. But, there's a goal for that also. And slowly, those who are more and more sincere and serious to grow, to develop, spiritually speaking, they take more importance so that they can help also others. Not just become an elite, but go like that. Okay. At 2nd Avenue, he would turn left, walk just 1 block north across 5th Street and arrive at his new home. As he passed the I&D subway entrance, the storefront came into view, much less gifts. As everything, Krishna arranged everything for his emissary, for his ambassador, for his devotee, pure devotee. Much less gifts. Everything like that. Just like in New Mayapur. I was speaking with Prabhu. The whole story of New Mayapur, starting with Prabhupada and after all that. It's just, perfectly arranged. Well, that's one vision. At least I can say that. You may have different visions, but on the wrong term, and it's really a transcendental story. Okay, so much less gift. He grabbed his suitcases and moved ahead. At 2nd Avenue and Houston, Houston Street, big street there. Houston, he hurried through a break in the rapid traffic. He could see green trees holding their heads above the high courtyard walls, reaching up like overgrown weeds in the space between the front and rear buildings of his new address. 9 o'clock. Any comments? What's been there? What's been there? Yes.
So this was the first center Prabhupada had. The first center where he could invite people to come repeatedly and hear.
C'est le premier centre où Srila Prabhupada pouvait s'établir et inviter régulièrement des personnes à venir.
It was a giant step, but it was very simple. A storefront.
C'était un pas de géant, mais c'était en même temps quelque chose de très simple. C'était une devanture de magasin. Oh, pardon, excuse-moi.
Prabhupada was happy to get that place. That was what Krishna provided for him. If Krishna could have given him more, could have gotten a place in Manhattan. But instead he got a place on the Bowery. And he accepted that. This is it, and started there. But he had big plans. He was going to start somewhere. He accepted that. This is what Krishna is providing for him. And he made the best use of it.
So that's a deep comment, both accepting whatever Krishna gives us, make the best use of it, not just, just let it down and find something better. No, make the best use first of it, and have big plans also. Thank you.
We talked about how this simplicity, that like Prabhupada just went without a plan. And like when you think about how Prabhupada came to New York, and it didn't seem like he had a strategy of how it's all going to happen. He just took the risk. And then later on, like Prabhupada talks about how we have to be organized and intelligent and all that kind of thing. So like, how do you balance that, like in spiritual life, being organized, intelligent, and at the same time just taking a risk, doing what you don't know, like, because it seems like you can go to one extreme or the other.
We have to remain at the level that Krishna is giving us and grow from that. We may have, it's not bad to have big plans, it's good. But as Prabhu said, we have to accept what Krishna gives us. Simple. Start simple, like we spoke about before. I don't remember why we spoke about the beginning. First start simple. Anyway, yeah. Foundation. What is our foundation? It's simple. We are simple. We are a simple being. We are simple people in Kali Yuga. Nobody can say, I'm coming out of the coming out from the sky. No. I'm coming from Kali Yuga, Karoshu or something. So, we are simple. That's a good way to say it. Mandasana Matayo. The best way to clarify it, simple. So Krishna is building up on our simplicity, otherwise artificial, and we're going to break under the weight, responsibility, organization, like that. We're going to break. So, simple, and we are guided by Krishna. And we patiently wait with projects and hardworking to make the best use of what we have. Patiently, hardworking, with intelligence for when Krishna wants, and it works. Along with taking risks, that part of it. Growing means taking risks. You are heading toward a level where you are not yet. That means you don't know. But if it is based on this simplicity, means what I am really. We have to know ourselves, what we are, how much we can take without breaking. We know that, and trust Krishna that He will not give us more than we can if we are honest with ourselves and Him. He will not give us more, but also He will give more when we become a little strong, and then more and more and more. Yes. So in this sense, we are God protected also. In this thing about how to be simple and organized, planning and structured and big time. We are protected because we, Bhajatam people welcome, I give it. Tesham Satatayutanam Bhajatam people welcome. Dadami Buddhi Yogamta Minamam Upayantite. What kind of intelligence can Krishna give us? To be intelligent, structures, big time, or kind like that? Bhajani, pretty, Purvakam. When we are devoted to Krishna, when we listen to Krishna, and you can listen to Krishna if you love Him. Otherwise, you have so many other people who can listen to, give you all kind of advices. Very intelligent, very structured, very, 10 people they agree with him, or 100 people, or 100,000 people agree with this one. But who is this? Nobody. But Krishna, when you love Krishna, and then you can listen to Krishna. Yeah. And then if you listen to Krishna with love, then Krishna gives us the right intelligence. But we have to be sincere with us and with Krishna. And like that you remain enthusiastic. Because you feel, I'm not growing just over my real capacity. Then you are, one day everybody is going to discover, I am not what I am showing, or I am not able to do what I am doing for long, and like that. So there is risk, but there is risk under Krishna's protection. You have to be protected. Some or other association with devotees, guru, shiksha gurus, and mercy because of service to the mission, humility through cooperation, tolerance, and that. Yes. But our faith in Krishna and bhakti, love of Krishna, that will allow us to grow and take risks without breaking. We don't want to break. That was a pastoral blooping, Now the devotees, they don't even know this word, bloop, That was the most, there was two words before, Chant Hare Krishna, Prabhu, But, what about my mind? Chant Hare Krishna. What about the facture to pay? Chant Hare Krishna, everything, okay. That's chant Hare Krishna. The other words was bloop. He blooped. She blooped. He blooped. They blooped. And day after day, disappear. Taking risk, but unprotected by Krishna. But now we don't hear that so much. Krishna's mercy. There is a réseau, there is, young, enthusiastic, dynamic devotees, there is elder grandmothers, and a few grandpa also, and like that. And there is, maturity coming up. There is not, risks are there, but it's so nice to take risks when you feel protected. But simplicity is the beginning, yes. And it has to remain. It has to remain. It has to remain oneself. Otherwise, danger. Don't be above what you are. Or if you are above what you are, it is because the bigger ones are there to tell you, yes, do that. And okay, I hold your hand, don't let me, okay. Because otherwise, then you feel happy. Oh, I'm allowed to do something big and bigger than my capacity by somebody real, a real protector. And it's very enthusiastic, It's not just remain small like that, but everybody likes to do something, And the world needs to do something big.
In what you say about taking risks, what the story you talk about the bija bhakti, the seed.
Yeah.
The seed. So how to cultivate the seed, because that's the foundation also. I mean, it's all the structure, but in the heart, that's the most. How to water
that's the real
seed.
start.
Yeah, but how to water the seed despite.
You have to study. You have to study the process. It is all delineated clearly. You have to study. You have to approach the spiritual master as it should be, not just external questions. But you have to approach, how to grow from this stage to that stage. What's the next stage? How to do it, and you apply it, and then it is guaranteed. It's not our masters are kind people. They don't look at us, content. No, they know we can grow. They know how we can grow, and they give it the right way. Right? No, it's not a big problem. This is not no doubt about that. If we have faith in Prabhupada, if we have faith in all the great guys of this Vaishnava history and in Krishna, then what's the problem about how to develop our love of God? It's not, if we want to do that independently, then yes, eternally we will ask questions about, yes, but this, but if we want to follow, if we follow those who know, those who are realized, then it's very simple, not easy, but very simple. Just ask a question, apply it, and then next one. Yes, very simple. We are simple people, so we cannot have some complicated psychological process. No, it's simple, but we have to do it. and study. You study Prabhupada books, and it's all written page after page after page. He repeats it regularly. You know, instead of remaining always in the same, external things, which is a good beginning. If we went closer, then and if nobody answers you about these things, and you will feel, it's two worlds different. But we have to trek through the jungle and go to much less gift. There Prabhupada regularly. He received various people who are really interested. He received them and they reply. And day after day, phase after phase, he told them what to do. And it worked. It worked. So, if he worked for these jungle Westerners, he should work today. Same. But one has to approach a spiritual master or more experienced devotees with this goal, not just to remain, to understand what's going on in his God, what's going on in my heart, in my mind, what's going on. That's okay, but how to go to the other level? Yes, and there is a process, a scientific process, and it works. It's simple, and one has to approach in the proper way, ask the proper questions, and then it works. It's